Welcome back to my channel, guys. I realized that I had never done an introduction. My name is Liz, and I call my garden Belle Gardens. My husband and I have a very special place in our heart for Beauty and the Beast and Belle, and he works for Disney, so kind of works out. The gardens have been doing really well. We had some hot days where I actually had to water. I used up all the rainwater in the rain barrel, and actually had to use the hose last night because it's been too hot and not enough rain. But we are starting to get, and I don't know if you can tell, it is looking like it could rain today. So we're gonna cross our fingers, or I'm gonna be watering again in the next few days. So here we are. This bed hasn't changed much. I think it's been a little less than a week since we did our last video of the garden. I did get a lot of stuff caged up though. Put 3 cages around the 2 green peppers and the jalapeno in the middle because they were tipping over. The stems are getting really woody, as you can see, and they were just completely tipped over. Look at the barrage. I mean, it's just laying flat. It got so heavy, it's completely tipped over. Had another little calendula bloom. So happy to see that. They're really pretty little flowers. This green pepper plant has been giving us a lot of nice size fruit. This one I'm gonna leave just a couple more days. But I actually put together the start of my pickles just a little bit ago. I was following the Stivers Homestead's refrigerator bread and butter pickle recipe, and it called for a bell pepper, so I used one from the garden. And then this jalapeno is producing really well. It's got a lot of jalapenos on it. And what I did was, because I haven't had a use for many of them yet, I gave them to a girl that I work with who makes pickled jalapenos. So she was very grateful to get those. The last time I walked you guys around, some of these beds were really looking sad. This one right here was filled with a lot of grass, had a lot of the peas needed to come down. And so I spent a good amount of time out here cleaning out these beds, and I think they really turned out nice. So all that's left in here is these few sunflowers. This tomato right here is the purple Russian tomato that I got free seeds from Baker Creek, and still waiting. It's not really doing much, but there's one fruit, and I'm excited to see what it actually looks like. And today, this beauty opened, and I was really happy to see that. They are just such a wonderful burst of color. These little guys down here, interested to see what color they are, because they're much shorter. They're only probably, I don't know, 4 feet tall. But yeah, they should be blooming in the next few days. And the sweet peas are putting off seed pods. So I'm gonna let them dry, and I'm gonna save these seeds. It's not really flowering much anymore. This was kind of the last little bloom that we had, but that's okay. I'm gonna save these seeds and try it again next year. I think now that we've got holes drilled in the bottom of this pot, we'll have a lot more success next year. The zinnia bed is bursting with color. A few more have opened up, and in fact a lot of these shorter ones that I was concerned might not actually. Oh, we have a little butterfly. Ooh. I just love watching them. I wish I could have videoed the monarch that had landed here earlier. It actually scared me. I didn't even see it was there. But as I was saying, a lot of these have buds on them. So even though this is really packed full, they're still producing. I'm gonna come through here later this evening and cut a bunch of these I just love watching butterflies and flowers. I'm gonna cut a bunch of these and bring them in the house again tonight. I figure I would start at the back side of this bed. This is the cucumbers and the sunflowers. But look how gorgeous they look, and you can see how dark the sky is. I'm hoping I can finish this up before it starts raining, but this is a new one that opened today. It's just solid yellow. And that one up there is more of the orange. I want to say it was like Autumn Sunrise or something was the name, but beautiful colors. Really happy I grew these. I can tell you that sunflowers now will have a permanent place in our garden. In fact, we got a little happy bee. Seen a lot of them out here this evening, and that makes me ecstatic because for a while I was struggling with stuff getting pollinated. It seemed like nothing wanted to set fruit, and now oh, I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it if she'll come around here. Maybe if I back up. You see the monarch? She came back. I've got a bunch of milkweed over where you can see her flying. And we did have some monarch eggs get laid, so I will be cleaning out our cage and getting that ready to bring those in before they get eaten by parasites. Had a lot of issues with that earlier in spring. Oh. Thought she might land. But anyway, back to the cucumbers, because that's what I'm most excited about. They're doing really well. I watered this again last night, and it seems to be doing much better. A lot of them are starting to look deformed though. Like this one is curled, and this one's growing a lot better. I think once I water them, they seem to straighten out a lot more. So if we don't get a good amount of rain tonight, I'm gonna definitely be, see that one's looking really nice. I'll be watering again just to make sure that they've got enough. And then here's those beautiful sunflowers. They're just so happy. And other than that, I completely ripped everything out of this bed except for my 3 or 4 little kohlrabis they're struggling, but I'm just gonna leave them. I think once the temperatures start cooling off, they're gonna really take off, and I'll be happy that I left them. I actually need to sit down with all of our my seeds and figure out what I'm gonna plant for fall. I can't stop looking at these sunflowers. I want to cut some and bring them in the house, but I just can't bring myself to do it. I'm gonna have to hurry this up. We are starting to get a little darker, and it's starting to sprinkle on me. So I think I'm gonna just kind of pan around here. This is the Mexican torch sunflowers, and they've got heads on them, and I'm super excited. And this, guys, this tomato bed, I can't keep these things up. They keep falling down. I'm gonna have to find a much better way to trellis these. Let me show you. This tomato plant has completely just tipped over. Still fruit ripening, like it's still doing okay. I even put a rock under it to try to prevent the pests from getting it. But it never grew really tall. It just kind of stayed short, but it got really heavy, and then I couldn't keep it supported. So lesson learned for next year, I'm gonna try doing a cattle paddle down the center, see if that makes a difference. But I mean, the barrage got so huge, and this sweet alyssum took off. And guys, look at all the cherry tomatoes. I was gonna bring my basket out here, but my husband was inside shooting his own video, so I couldn't grab it. So I might do a little harvest and then insert a photo at the end to show you everything that I collected for today. But this cherry tomato I will be growing again next year. I have been so pleased. Oh, and now you can see I haven't done a full video on the flower garden, but guys, it's a mess. I'm gonna have weeks worth of work back there. That's my 3-foot tall basil plant. Super happy. I've let it go to seed, and then I pinch it off, you know, after the flowers are done, and it keeps growing. This barrage, another one, completely took off. I'm torn about if I'm going to actually plant this again. And here, guys, there's another example. Look at this. I have tied it, I have staked it, I even tied it to one of the other tomato plants, but it has completely fallen outside. I don't know, here, let me just get on this side. Look how healthy it is, though. It's super healthy, still putting off tons of blooms. This is the one where the Mickey head came off of that you're all loving. Haven't seen any other fasciated blossoms on this. That was our one and only. I guess we got really lucky. It's now frozen. But this is even touching the ground. Like, I have to figure out something to do, but I don't want to break any of the branches, so I'm kind of just letting it go. This is one of the Roma tomatoes that I have in a pot, and it's just starting to turn. I did have to pick a lot of these off. They were getting blossom end rot. These are looking okay, but I did have quite a few that I just had to pull off, and this one is definitely looking sickly. I'm probably gonna trim those branches off. But all in all, the tomatoes are doing awesome. Really excited. Gonna finish making the pickles tonight, and then I think tomorrow I'm gonna make some bruschetta with all our basil and tomatoes that we have. But look at this, guys. I mean, I gotta find a better way, because this just looks crazy. The hummingbird garden is still blooming away. We've got lots of dill and bachelor buttons and this gaillardia blanket, I think it's called blanket coneflower maybe? But a lot of those, and it looks like we have some black-eyed Susans, which those are new. We didn't have those the last time I did my tour, and that one was new. That's a gaillardia. And this purple little flower here, that's new. A lot of dill. This, I think this is salvia, and lots of dill. I'm hoping to start seeing some swallowtails come in here and lay some eggs, but the dill is looking really healthy, and excited to see this is doing a little bit better. Seems like we have a lot less grass now and more flowers. Here are the Mexican torch sunflowers I was telling you about. These leaves are so soft. If you've never grown this before, which I haven't, this is not what I was expecting. They're super soft, and it looks like they're gonna have multiple heads on them. There's one here and there's one here, but really, really soft leaves. And I'm excited to see what the actual sunflower themselves look like. The rest of the bed, though, guys, still a mess. The few spots where I cleaned it out, the lupines are still hanging in, and so are these little, the little verbenas, the little pink ones and the white. So that's it for today, guys. Garden is really happy, and the mosquitoes are out in force, but I'm really happy with how it looks, and excited to give you an update on how the pickles turn out. I'm gonna go in, I've got about an hour left of them sitting in salt, and then I'm gonna do the next phase of them, so I'll let you know how they turn out. Please like and subscribe, and leave any comments you have down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.